There are 231 confirmed liquid lakes underneath Antarctica right now. Not frozen, liquid water held under 2 kilometers of ice. They move, they drain, they connect through underground channels. Scientists confirmed all of this in September 2025. 4 months later, they found something else. Something that wasn't in a single sea level model ever written. Not one, every flood projection for every American coastal city. Built without it. If you've had that low-level pull toward higher ground lately, stay with this. That feeling tracks something real. The Maud Subglacial Basin, East Antarctica, 65 degrees south, 0 longitude. That's where they found it, sealed under ice. No physical access. None. No drill reaches it through 2 kilometers of frozen continent. A satellite found it. That was the only instrument that could. One team decoded how the surface of ice bends over hidden obstacles below it. Every ridge, every scar in the rock underneath leaves a trace on the ice above. They read those traces from orbit, and something answered back. A channel. Confirmed January 15th, 2026. Published in the journal Science. 400 kilometers long, 6 wide, 50 meters carved into the bedrock. The distance from New York City to the Washington suburbs and back. NASA and the European Space Agency have been mapping Antarctic ice since the 1970s. 50 years of coverage, radar surveys, satellite passes, institutional data. The official position, as of January 14th, was that East Antarctic bedrock was broadly mapped. Here's what the data actually shows. The technique to detect this channel has existed since the late 1990s. Every satellite reading since then is archived. None of it was lost. That channel was detectable for 25 years. Nobody filed it. Or somebody did, and it didn't reach the public record. In September 2025, the European Space Agency reported a second set of findings. 85 new active lakes confirmed by the CryoSat satellite under the ice sheet. That brought the confirmed total from 146 to 231. These lakes aren't still. They fill, they drain, they shift. 5 of the newly confirmed networks are linked. One releases, the others respond. When a network drains, the glacier above doesn't wait. It accelerates. Forward. If you felt that your coastal flood anxiety is arriving ahead of what the projections justify, that's not ahead of the data. And if you've stayed this long, you already know where this is going. All flood projections in the United States were built from a model. Each model used a bedrock map of Antarctica. One map, the same one, shared across every institution. Published before the channel was confirmed. Everything downstream from that map is working from an incomplete picture. Norfolk Naval Station, Virginia, the largest U.S. naval base in the world. They've committed $4 billion to sea level adaptation since 2014. Those plans came from a climate projection. That projection used Antarctic bedrock data. Antarctic bedrock data that predates January 15, 2026. $4 billion of U.S. Navy infrastructure calibrated to a baseline missing the channel. The IPCC's public position is that its projections improve as new science becomes available. Models evolve over time, the official communication says. That's the process working. Here's what the filed record shows. The channel feeds drainage systems connected to a major ice shelf above the Weddell Sea. That shelf controls ice flow for a region the size of Western Europe. No revised projection accounting for it has been publicly released. Not one. East Antarctica was supposed to be the stable one. West Antarctica, the Thwaites Glacier, that's what got the headlines. East Antarctica was logged as low risk, centuries away, not urgent. CryoSat's data says something different. Drainage cycles in the newly confirmed lake networks run on decades, not centuries. Some of them run on years. The ice above those networks is already moving ahead of what the models projected. If you're in a city that gets FEMA flood maps, those maps trace back to a projection. That projection traces back to a model. One bedrock baseline. You already know which one. In Norfolk, Virginia, the streets flood on clear days. No storm, no rain, the water just climbs over the curb. It's been tracked since 2012. It's getting worse faster than the projection said it would. NOAA's tide gauge there is logging acceleration ahead of the published schedule. Not months ahead, years. The official explanation for this acceleration is natural variability. Here's what the actual record shows. Norfolk sits at the leading edge of the Atlantic's response to Antarctic melt. Antarctic melt that was being modeled on a map that didn't include the channel. Here's where this settles. Every decision is already made. The maps are filed. Projections are locked in. Buildings are built. People are inside them. Right now, on land certified to a model that was working from an incomplete picture. The channel didn't create this. It confirmed what was already set in motion. There's one more thing the record shows. The IPCC's next major sea level assessment is due in 2027. New bedrock data, updated projections, corrected baselines. After that, cities will start receiving revised flood zone assessments. Some of those cities are approving waterfront development permits right now. New buildings, new foundations, signed off and filed this season, based on projections that predate January 15th, 2026. The official message from the scientific community is that new data improves long-term planning. The science is self-correcting. That's the public language. Here's what the historical record shows. After the last major upward revision to Antarctic melt projections in 2019, FEMA map updates arrived years later. In some coastal planning offices, that correction took 8 years to arrive. 8 years. ICE doesn't wait for correction cycles. There's no alert for this, no broadcast, no notification. Just a paper, published on a Tuesday, about a channel that's been there longer than we have. Ask yourself one question before you sleep tonight. If it took 25 years to find this channel in the data, what else is already in those archives?